Good morning. This is Derek Dodge with Interstate Roofing, conducting a repair attempt. I am here at the Zal residence, 1683 Barnswallow in Marietta, Georgia. It is October 4th, 2024. I'm on the rear facing slope, the rear west facing slope. So what we're trying to do today is determine whether or not this roof is repairable. You can see that I have identified the wind damage shingle as denoted by the X right there, as well as the course that it belongs to. Also of important note, we don't see any damage in the two adjacent courses of shingles above. So what I have to do is I have to break the tar strips, remove the nails, take out the old shingle, replace it with a like and kind quality shingle, refasten that back down to the roof, and then inspect to see whether or not damage has been done. I'm going to put my phone in my pocket. I don't need it anymore for now, at least. I'm going to be taking pictures along the way. The first thing that I want to establish is a baseline. This is a speed square. We use this in construction all the time to find different angles. This is what's called the pivot point. So when we're trying to find an angle, you want to put the pivot point at the base and you line it up. So this is an opportunity for an adjuster, if you'd like, to screenshot this video so that you can see. We see 45 is right there in the center, so 45 would be right there. So I will not be lifting any of these shingles above a 45-degree angle so that I'm not over manipulating the shingles. I'll do that one more time once I get the old shingle out and I'm about to fasten the new one in. But now that I've explained what I'm going to do, let's just go ahead and do it. So like I said, I'm going to break the adhesive tar strips, then I'm going to remove the nails, take out the old shingle, and then replace it. Now that the tar strips have been broken, we can safely remove the nails. I'll be using a pry bar as well as a magnetic hatchet or a roofer's hatchet to be doing the repair. I know some adjusters say that we need to use a snake, but I'm the contractor, you're the adjuster. I get to say what tools I use. A roofer's hatchet is a proper tool. But more importantly, I'm not here to argue with anybody. I understand why they say a roofer's snake. It's because you're not going to lift the shingles very high. But honestly, if a roof's not repairable, it's not repairable. So with a snake, the idea behind the snake is that the head of it right there with the nail, and then you nail it right here. So you're putting all the force down here. You're not putting any up there to where the shingles are being repaired. The issue is that when a roof isn't repairable, where you're hammering, you'll have a ton of granule loss and the fiberglass matting will fracture as a byproduct of the hammering itself. So you're just trading damage up here for damage down here. If a roof's not repairable, it's not repairable. I don't use snakes, and I don't know any roofers that really do, but that's fine. We will be able to determine whether or not this roof is repairable, and you'll see that I won't lift these shingles over a 45 degree. We'll still know whether or not the roof is repairable. Okay. So I have removed the nails, so this should just pop right out. Yep. I picked the rear facing slope because it's the north facing slope. You could see a ton of algae in here. So this side of the roof should be the harder one. Line it up with our chalk lines. That looks good. Oh, oops. Before I do that, I need photos for my photo report. Sorry. Overviews, close-ups. They're pretty closely matched in color. Georgia's not a match state, but you know, if the roof is repairable, I want it to look right for the homeowner. I want to do right by them, so it's the closest thing I could find to that match. Again, we're using a mag hatch. Good thing with the mag hatch is the way you kind of nail it down, you're flicking your wrist, so you're able to have the nail match the pitch of the roof. With the snake, obviously, you know, it's laid down and then you set it, so you run this, you know, this possibility of the nails being at a different angle of the pitch, and not to say that those won't hold, it just won't hold as well. So hold on, let me do this again. So this is a brand new shingle, right? So we're gonna lift that to, that's about a 45 right there. So as you can see, it's not very high. That's where I'm gonna be when I'm nailing these shingles down. So that's below a 45. Not striking the nails, or I'm sorry, I'm not striking the shingles, so I'm not damaging them. I'm still able to get the nails where they need to go, and it's right on the sure strip. That's good. I'm still not lifting these more than a 45. I'm able to get the nails exactly where they need to be nailed. Right on the sure strip. This one might be, see that? It's at an angle, that might be an issue. Let me go ahead and try to set that. Let's see if I can just, that's not gonna work. Try to flatten the head a little bit. That didn't do a really good job. Actually, you know what? It's not the same type of nail, but it is the same length of nail. It's going to be under it anyway, so I'm going to just use this just so they have the right amount of nails. Okay. So you got that in. So I'm not sure if the GoPro's picking this up yet, but there are some signs of consequential damage. Got the new one in. So with the fiberglass shingle, the fiberglass is obviously the bones. The asphalt is what makes the roof waterproof, and the granules are the things that abate the UV rays. With wind damage, you know, the tar strips have been broken and flapping in the wind or just holding like that for periods of time. So the matting in that windstorm is fracturing. And as a byproduct of the fracturing, the asphalt's no longer holding the granules, and then they dislodge, which is why we have those creases. So let me show you, I always want to do a test first, right? So this was a shingle that was involved, but I didn't have to lift it, and it's brand new. So let's just test that theory, because I've heard some adjusters say, if you lift any shingle above a 45, you're going to see fracturing and granule loss, which just isn't the case, but let's just prove what we say. So let's go to a 45-degree angle. When I drop it, you're going to see how slowly it comes down. There's still tension in the fiberglass, like it's still intact. Let me wipe my hand across the top as an example. So I don't see any granule loss. Let's do this. Let's go to, that's a 65-degree angle. That's much higher, right? And I would argue like an adjuster would say that this is a 90, but this is a 65, right? You see how slow it was coming down. Wipe my hands across the top, and I'm putting good pressure. You can hear the friction on my fingers. Absolutely no granule loss. The matting is intact. The fiberglass is not fractured. So we can see, like this shingle, it kind of slaps down, but I can feel a lot of tension coming up. So this feels intact. We wipe my hands across the top. This is good. This one's a good shingle. You can see on this one I can see the beginnings of a crease. So we wipe our hands across the top, and now you can see the crease really form. So we've got creasing, which is indicating of the matting is fractured, so the shingle has failed. Right here you can already just clear as day see it. Wipe our hands across the top. We see the crease is now really there. But just when you look at it, this looks like a sticky note. There's no tension in it. Matting is fractured, so this shingle has failed as well. See right here, you can see the creases. Wipe our hands across. Now keep in mind, I didn't lift these shingles above a 45-degree ever. And we set up a baseline twice. So without these being lifted above a 45, which a 45 is a brittleness test, so without it being lifted above a 45, we see fracturing. So this course right here is messed up. Right here, don't see any creasing. I feel a lot of tension. This doesn't feel like a sticky note. You can actually see when I let go, it was a little slower. There's a lot of tension in this shingle, so this shingle's intact. You can see the beginnings of a crease. Yeah, you can see it right there. So yeah, when I lift it up just a little bit, you can see the crease. So that's 4. And this one looks fine as well. Wipe my hands across the top, I lift it up. This feels like a sticky note, or it doesn't feel like a sticky note. This feels like the shingle is still well intact. So the issue here is that in an effort to replace one wind damaged shingle, which was here, we have now had a crease occur as a byproduct, a crease occur right here as a byproduct, a crease occur here as a byproduct, and lastly here. So the age and the condition of this roof is playing a factor in its repairability. I know that insurance does not cover age and condition, and that would be ridiculous if you had to, but we're not here replacing age and condition. We're here replacing storm damage. And so the only way to get them to get the zows to pre-loss conditions, at least in this slope, in this side, because this is a representation of the rear, this isn't repairable. So I'm not going to just leave it at one repair. I am going to do another repair on the front facing slope, and a photo report that will document that as well. But it is my expert opinion that this roof is not repairable. If you have any questions or concerns, my contact information is going to be in the signature of the email where we send this video as well as the photo report to coincide with that. And that will conclude this repair attempt. Appreciate your time. Have a good one.